Okay, we're working on this 2013 Ford Escape here. We've got the 1.6 liter turbo in it. We're going to be replacing this bypass valve up here on the engine. It's bypass valve C. Let's go ahead and take a look at the codes that we have. I have more than one code, but this code in particular. Okay, so let's take a look at these codes here. Now I did have one for a coolant temperature sensor, but that one's not on there. Right now I don't know what happened yet, but this is the code that you're going to get for this bypass valve. Now we're just going to go ahead and erase these because once we get this fixed, we want to see if it's going to come back. So you don't need a lot of tools. We've got some pliers, 8mm, and I'm going to be using this hose clamp here and attempting to not make a big mess, but we'll see how it goes. And this is the part that I went with. You can get whatever part you want. Now here you can see this seal here. So very first thing, we want to get a pan positioned right under where we're going to be working at and make sure that it's in position. So here is our bypass valve. We don't have a lot of stuff to get at here. It's in a pretty good spot. So my goal here is to make as little mess as possible. Now this connector for this intake hose is looking like it's going to want to get in the way, so we're going to take it out. Now I think to give myself a little more room, I'm going to slip that off, and I can kind of move that over. Okay, I'm going to go down here with my hose crimpers. See if we can position these where they'll be the most out of the way. Okay, so if we crimp it here, we shouldn't have a lot of coolant loss. Now it just occurred to me, if this is stuck open, coolant's going to pour out of here regardless. So what I think I'm going to do is take the 8mm out and try to get this in place. Okay, that idea I don't think is going to work because it's not going to be enough room. I got a better idea. I've got one of these caps. I don't know what to tell you. You could use some type of plug. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I take that loose, I'm going to plug the spout on the one that's on there. Okay, so the clamp is not in a real great spot, and it'd be better if it was on top, so you may have to twist it if you have trouble. I'm using my small pliers here. Now when you get it to a certain point, it'll actually lock, but you want to be careful. It will pop on your fingers if it comes back loose. Okay, you can see we got that plumb out of the way there now. Okay, I'm going to use my heat gun on this for a minute, and got it set on 3. And I'm just going to heat it up. It'll come off there a lot easier. Okay, and I've got it pretty hot. Let's just see if it's going to try to move here. Okay, I'm going to get at it with a bigger pry bar here. It's still pretty stuck. Okay, I've got it on the move now. I just don't want to mess the hose up. I'm going to be replacing that. Alright, I've got my cap in hand. I'm going to see if I'm going to have any luck here. Alright, so I've got the cap. It ain't going nowhere now. Okay, so we got that hose out of the way and got that capped off. We're going to go ahead and take our 8mm, see what we can do with this. So this may very well be the difficult part. I've got the other part ready to go, but as soon as I get this one out of the way, I'm going to try to pop the other one in as quickly as I can here. Alright, so I've got the other bolt out. I'm kind of pushing it on here. Already here leaking, so we're going to see how this is going to go. Alright, so I've got it. Sort of in place. This may not work out like I hope. We'll see how much coolant we lost. Just may not be any avoiding it. Okay, the front of that was dripping, so I capped that too. I think these called for like 89 inch-pounds. I'm not gonna torque them. I'm just using this little bitty ratchet to snug them up and just kind of going by feel. If these things were ever over tightened before, you would never get 89 inch-pounds. Alright, so I'm going to get this cap out of the way. Just pop the hose back on. Alright, so I just made sure I got that hose fully seated up there. Carefully move this clamp. Like I said, if it stays, then you can just get up here and trigger it, preferably on top. But if it hits your fingers, it does not feel good. That thing was actually locked pretty good. It took me a second to get it triggered. I'll go ahead and release this. Or I'm just going to slip this back on where it was. Get these two reconnected. Alright, for the moment of truth, let's see how much coolant we lost here. It may be the same as everybody else. So, I don't know, not too bad, I guess. And I'm just going to filter this through my paint filter and put it right back in. So you got to get creative because they decided to stick this underneath this cowl, but you kind of need like a hose, something like that. And we'll just put that in there, get our funnel. Then we got our paint filter. I don't know if you can see down there at the tank, we didn't lose very much there. Alright, let's see if we can do this without making a mess. That's good enough for now. Alright, we're just going to crank it up and check for leaks and make sure that light's not going to come back on. Alright, so I don't see anything dripping. Of course, we'll have to make sure we get the air out of here. We're just going to work it out by driving it. So after you drive it and it cools, you know, just you can crack the cap open, make sure there's no excess air. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like to the channel. And thanks for watching.